All right. So, next Patreon request, and this one comes from my good friend Jason Voorhees 2011, who asked me to do a Patreon request centered around another cartoon adaptation of the story Justice by Jim Kruger and Alex Ross. I think a lot of people know it better as Alex Ross's Justice because it is mostly his artwork that everyone knows. Like when you see Alex Ross, you see that. And I got to be honest, I was Jason had sent me this Patreon request a little while ago, but the reason why I never did it was because I did own Justice. I realized, oh yeah, I do have that book in my collection. I just never read it. So while I was away with my girlfriend, I sat down and managed to read Justice so I could have like I could actually like do the story. I wasn't gonna like pull it out of my ass because I never read it. I got the book actually in my local comic shop for like discount like $10. So I got it, took it home with me, and I haven't been able to read it since. I should do a review on Justice at some point. I should. Anyway, yeah. So let's get started with this video. So the story begins with the world is getting nuked. Like the world is just getting absolutely bombed by. It's just World War III. It is just nuclear bombs are dropping left and right, and no one is really being able to fight back. Like it's just all these heroes are either dying. A lot of the superheroes are getting killed left and right, and it's just an absolute massacre. It is just nothing short of absolute devastation, and there's really nothing anyone can do. At the center point of this is Danny. And Danny's just kind of watching all of like he's seeing like for like a lot of the heroes get wiped out by these nuclear bombs. He's trying to save Amity Park, and the last thing he sees is just a nuclear wave just hit him. But that's when he wakes up. But it's not just him who had that dream. All these other superheroes had that exact same dream as well. Like it was a massive just wave of superheroes all across the world having this horrible nuclear nightmare. And it wasn't just them, it was the villains too. So, what is going on is that, like, Danny, like, basically calls, like, he calls Jenny, and he's just like, hey, so I know you don't sleep a lot, but do you have dreams? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, what kind of dreams have you been having lately? And she goes, what kind of dreams are you having? And he's like, you see like some kind of like nuclear apocalypse? And she goes, oh shit. So it's not just him, it's Randy, Jake, all of them are kind of having this kind of shared nuclear apocalypse dream. And it's like, well, that's not coincidence. If we've been having the same nightmare for like the last 4 days, it's something we need to talk about. So Danny gets all the superhero community together, but there's someone missing. Like someone is not there. Someone of great prominence. That person missing is Kim. She's nowhere to be found, and no one knows what happened to her. So some of the superheroes go to her house and realize it got trashed. Like someone broke into her house and attacked her. Her family's like they're gone too. So Danny's like, well, they probably have security cameras. Like her dad's a rocket scientist. She's a superhero, and her mom's a brain surgeon. She has got to have like some kind of security camera footage. So they're all like watching the footage, right? Like they're all just kind of like sitting around watching it. And what essentially happens is that what basically has happened is that they see Shigo attacking Kim. Like she just broke in. And they're like, that never happens with... Yeah, everyone knows Kim Possible and where she lives and all that. But like, no one literally would come to their house and like attack her. Like it was kind of like an unwritten rule almost. So, and let alone Shigo would do it. So, and they noticed, like, Kim has just, like, Kim was unprepared for the fight, and also that Shigo was just absolutely brutal in this matchup. Like, she was just absolutely just devastating in this fight. Like, there's, like, she is fighting, like, some kind of level of ferocity we've not seen, and it shows that Kim got kidnapped along with her family, and now it's just like, we gotta go find her. But as that's happening, there's just, like, all of these other supervillain attacks on different heroes. Like, all of a sudden, there is just this level of like, all these villains are attacking at a more rapid pace against the heroes. And it's revealed that, like, there is now, like, a united villain front led by a returned Vlad Plasmius. Basically, Vlad, like, at the end of Phantom Planet, essentially what happened was that Vlad came back after all those years in space and has now, like, come with a prophecy saying that, saying that basically the Earth is doomed. Superheroes are going to cause a third world war, and it's going to die, and I'm actually here to, like, help save it. Like, I am here to make sure that it is all, like, I am here to prevent a nuclear world war, and you guys are going to help me stop it, basically. Like, that is the plan. Like, he got all the villains together and is like, look, guys, we can't be on our bullshit anymore. This shit is like, even Vlad's like, look, the superheroes are going to cause a massive apocalypse. And you guys are going, have, like, probably been seeing a lot of, like, probably been having the same kind of dreams as I have. So I've come to, like, save the world, and we're going to be the superheroes this time. So we got to knock off the bullshit, and we're going to, like, work together, okay? And all the villains are like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. So now all these villains are fighting for a common cause of thinking they're the good guys and trying to stop this. Now, the other reason of why Vlad is like this is because he got in contact with someone who did reach out to him. Basically, someone reached out to him and told him about all this and told him about all these dreams and whatnot, and that was Xana. Xana basically was hacking deep space satellites to look for Vlad and bring him back. Because it was like, Vlad, you're still Vlad Plasmius. There was so much money left behind in all of your work that you could have enough resources to get all these villains together, and I'm all predicated about survival. So, not only is Xana running basically analytics for Vlad at this point, he's also, like, kind of playing and giving all the villains like all this data and analytics to help battle the superheroes. And Vlad is just kind of like, yeah, I'm going to be finally the savior of mankind. We're going to stop a nuclear apocalypse, and we'll be the heroes, and there will be no more, like, we'll be the heroes this time and seen as the real gods we should have been. And it's in that moment that Danny and him go to, like, face each other after all these years, and Danny's like, hey, shithead, you ever stop and think that Xana was the one doing all this? And Vlad's like, no, that's impossible. Xana would never, use this. He contacted me. He's like, because you have all this fucking money and contacts, you idiot. You think he wouldn't be, you think maybe this is all just one big fucking smokescreen to do what he's doing? And it's like, well, how are we having these dreams? Turns out that Xana whipped everyone else in a fervor with the help of Nocturne. He was using, like, that nuclear apocalypse dream to whip everyone else into, like, a fervor to manipulate them into this one big fight, while Xana was off, like, using Vlad's connections and Vlad's money and all of his data to break into every single fucking nuclear silo on Earth and start the nuclear apocalypse that was dreamed to have happened. And he's just like, yeah, I was telling you guys my plan. Like, Xana's like, oh yeah, I was telling you guys my plan the whole time. I was just making it seem like, each side was the reason, and you guys were going to kill each other off, and then I was going to nuke everything and let machines rule. Thanks. So, in that moment, all the heroes and villains are like, oh shit. So they immediately go to work together on trying to stop this nuclear apocalypse. So all these heroes and villains are, like, trying to stop nukes and all that, where Xana is basically like, just like, yeah, I was like, it was so, you humans are so easily manipulated. It's so hilarious to watch you all like scream and cry over at each other because you're so willing to blame each other at a knee-jerk reaction at every time. So it was so fucking easy to do that. However, Xana is defeated by Vlad and Danny, who do like rip out like his like just find him and rip out his data and his mainframe and everything else. They're just ripping things apart. And they're like, well, he's gonna come back at some point, but now we can lock him out of every nuclear apocalypse ever. But there is like some sad news because like there was one nuke that got launched. There was one nuke that did get launched, and unfortunately, it was launched and headed right for Amity Park because it was like Xana's last fuck you to Danny. And what happens is Jenny sacrificed herself to keep that nuke from hitting him. So there is a funeral by the end of it, and no one like everyone's just like, well, how do we go from here? We just fought in a war and lost so many people. Like, how do we keep going? And everyone's just like, we just take it one day at a time. So there you go, guys. That is Justice. I want to thank my good friend Jason for this Patreon request. And yeah, you guys tell me in the comments below what you guys think of it. Like I said, if you guys would like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link in the description box below. Head on over to my Patreon, and again, in the link in the description box below. Hit the 3rd tier. That'll allow you access to do so, as well as check out all the other stuff on the other tiers on Patreon. But other than that, hope y'all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.